Hey everyone, welcome back to another brand new video. I'm James Martin. I'm here to help you filmmakers to not only succeed with your filmmaking, but also to help you with your career. And today we're back and we're reviewing some more anime, but this time we're going old school. Yes, I've dug out the vault and we're watching some really old anime. Some as early as debuting in 1986, all the way till about 2006, 2007. Just want to touch into your nostalgia and I'm going to be reviewing them. So for those that don't know anything about me, I am a movie producer. I'm currently actually working on a brand new zombie short film called Becoming One of Them. If you want to find out more about what that's sort of looking like, there is some behind the scenes that you can check out up in the cards and the description down below. If you also want to listen to an ongoing video interview between myself as the producer, the writer, the co-producer, and the director, you can check out that series again up in the cards or in the description down below. So what I'm just doing with this series is we're reviewing some anime. Don't know if it's good, don't know if it's bad. This is my first time watching any of this. We're watching the first episode of these shows and we're basically going to get a taste into what these shows are about. So I think that anime provides a really nice medium into, you know, different storytelling techniques. Right now, at this very second, I'm actually currently finishing up My Hero Academia, which I'm just loving. So it's a huge contrast between something like that, where currently season 4 of My Hero Academia came out recently this year or 2019, I can't exactly remember. And again, we have anime dating back in 1986. Like, do you know what was coming out in 1986? Let's break this down and give it a whirl, shall we? Also, usually when I review these anime shows, I usually tend to watch them in English dub. It's just easier for me to follow along. I have watched different shows in Japanese with English subtitles. The thing about very old-fashioned anime TV shows was the dubbing was just becoming this new way of communicating Eastern shows to the Western audiences. You know, especially turning something that was Japanese and showcasing it to an English audience. But a lot of the acting was not that great. If you want a full detailed idea of, you know, some of the acting issues that happened between video games and old shows, then you can check out this amazing channel, Sea-Dog. He's a voice actor and he breaks down a lot of voice acting, so I'll link his playlist as well in the description. It's quite interesting when you look at the animation style and the design styles, and it's very, very different between that compared to a lot of the anime made nowadays. I mean, like, again, this came out in 1986. I'm just watching the newest season of My Hero Academia, which came out in the last couple years. So there's literally a 30-year bracket between this show and that, and the animation is like night and day. But again, this was sort of like the new medium, and this was just people kind of understanding what was going on. I love that silhouette of the kid. It reminds me of the opening to Avatar: The Last Airbender, which of course came like 20 years later, but still, it's a very interesting style because it puts the center focus around that character and creates this mystical wonder. Whoa, this is some 12 frames a second animation. You see that background? A lot of times the background is just watercolored paintings and then the animation is done right on top. They have dinosaurs and cars? I'm filing a lawsuit. I don't care how old you are. You notice how the animation, they only animate the mouth, but they keep the figure sort of the same. Again, this is one of the complex things about animation, because you could animate the figure to look exactly the same. So it's much harder to animate that much. So often what you'll do is you'll have the figure stay still and then just animate the mouth.
There are 7 Dragon Balls, sire. You have to unite all 7 of them before the dragon will appear and grant your wish.
Well, that's some convenient information to bring up. Are we foreshadowing?
I want to rule the entire world.
Yeah, get in line, Buster. What kind of magic do we have in this world? You might notice from a lot of these old anime shows that when you listen to the music, that the music style really reflects its time. Like, obviously, it's not that hyper cinematic type of music that we're used to nowadays. And that's because that wasn't sort of the style and the concept. It's like when you compare, let's say, the 1997 version of Final Fantasy VII compared to the remake, and the music got a major upgrade to something a lot more modern with the times. At least the music goes. That animation. Interesting. Yeah, so here's the big thing we gotta understand, that this is a very different style than the anime that we might be used to nowadays. So first off, the animation looks like it's very much at sort of like a 12 frames per second kind of animation, which means that it's a little more jittery and janky compared to a lot of the modern day anime, which is very much 24, even up to 60 frames a second, just to give a lot more fluidity to its animation. Also, the storytelling is very different, right? So it was very much on the nose and very blunt about its magic system and what the story is about. So you have practically a narrator who is like,
oh, who's going to be the person who gets to collect all the 7 Dragon Balls and unlock the dragon and stuff?
Compared to, I was just thinking about a recent anime well, it wasn't that recent. It came out in 2003 called FULLMETAL Alchemist. And in the first episode, it actually did a very good job at establishing the magic system, the rules around it, and get us an idea into the characters and what's going on. And I'm not saying that the magic system has to be hard, meaning that it has to have very specific rules and limitations, because it can also be a good example. This can also be a great example of soft magic systems. There aren't any sort of rules and limitations. So you have this character where his only limitation is, well, he's incredibly strong. He has a very strong tail. His stick can become longer. I'm sorry, there's no way I'm going to be able to explain this and keep it PG, for crying out loud. Let me know your thoughts. Are you a fan of the original Dragon Ball? Because there's also Dragon Ball Z. There's like tons of these. I'm trying so hard to make sure that the episodes and the shows that I do watch are like the original, because I do have a tendency to watch the sequels and not the originals. So I'm trying my best to find the originals. But let me know your thoughts, and if I should check out any of the future ones, then maybe I will, because who knows, like, there are sequel series that end up becoming better. Like Naruto Shippuden is a great example, where this is just based on what I heard. That sequel series was better than the original. FULLMETAL Alchemist Brotherhood beats the original, so etc. So you can just let me know your thoughts. Now, the next episode we're watching is Beyblade. You know, I still remember being like 6, 7, 8 years old, and on the streets, like, everyone was either obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or Beyblade. Like, I practically remember having a neighbor across the street who had the Beyblade, and eventually we collected our own Beyblade toys and would try and rip them and see how long they would actually last. The worst part is when the thing would get caught inside the Beyblade. I recognize this neighborhood. It's in My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan Junior High, probably Yu-Gi-Oh! It's really interesting how these Japanese animes, again, they really reflect their culture and their understanding of the world. It's nice when the shows actually take place in Japan, because this is the type of neighborhood they're familiar with, right? They're not familiar with our Western side of the world. I'm not a big fan of that character's design. Looks kind of weird. Now, I know that one might be thinking, it's like, oh, come on, that laugh is not really that great. The thing is, acting while laughing is actually extremely hard. I mean, if you look at the videos from Sea-Dog, he says that like, laughing and making it sound natural is really hard. But, I mean, it's not too bad, all things considered. It's like, mediocre.
Let's do it!
Let's do it! It's kind of weird casting and acting choices when you have a character who's literally Japanese and he's like, yeah, dude. It's like, and then his life will change forever. I'm not a big fan of the acting in general, like 6, 7 out of 10. It kind of lacks personality. It's just doing what it needs to do. Isn't this supposed to be 3 in the afternoon? Why is there a sunset? Watch out, guys. He's got a scarf. Oh, is this going to be a to be continued? It's gonna be to be continued. I don't really have much to say about it. We introduced the character, we introduced sort of like the basic principle, the basic concept. Alright, next up is Sailor Moon. From a faraway place and a time. I miss all that entirely. Now see, this is a cool opening. Like, I love the style, I love the musical genre, but already we understand her as, like, especially her magic. And she's one out of, like, several very powerful users. Cool. That was awesome.
Combat the power of the Negaforce. Never let our enemies get them, or the universe is doomed. But most of all, you must protect.
I love foreshadowing. I'm sorry, you dropped a bunch of powerful people on the planet Earth? That's a terrible idea.
Chill out, Serene. It's just one lousy test. It's not like it's the end of the world or something.
More foreshadowing. What's up with her accent?
Going shopping. By the time you get home, your mom will have forgotten all about that dumb test. You really
I'm not sure what her accent's supposed to be. It's kind of slipping between a normal accent and a New York accent. Like, listen, every time she says a word starting with the letter M, like mall or mom, or store, she goes into that accent. Right? She has mall, or her mom, or her store.
diamonds, rubies, emeralds.
Diamonds. This must be the evil lair.
Day only. Everything in the store is 90% off. Please feel free to try on.
Must be a failing business. Ooh, it's a ruse. But 90% is a little much. Like, if a store just automatically said, hey guys, discount 90% off, I'd hightail out of there. It's like, okay, something's happening.
Hey, watch it, meatball head.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
Meatball head, love it. Was it? So it's a bit of a interesting drawing for the background. It doesn't quite blend in very well with the animation. Like, it just stands out like a sore thumb.
You are the chosen one, and I have been sent here to
A chosen one. Oh, man. The Yu-Gi-Oh transformation is essentially the female version of Yu-Gi-Oh. Except without the cards. Nice.
You are Sailor Moon. You will know what to do when you look into your heart. Believe in yourself.
May the heart of the cards guide you.
I did that.
So, what did she do exactly?
Someone will pay dearly. You'll pay dearly.
Again, this is Yu-Gi-Oh, but the female version, and without the cards. Okay, that was cool. I actually kind of like that. You know, I love the styling of her intro, her transformation when she uses her powers. It's kind of a good introduction to her character because the fact that she fails at her test and she sleeps in a lot and she's very doubtful says so much about her character. And I mean, I don't really mind the magic system so much just because, yes, she basically pulls out whatever the plot needs her to. However, again, you have to understand this is a very old show, like it's 20-something years or something like that. So it didn't have the same idea or standard for a quote-unquote hard magic system as most modern anime today, like Attack on Titan, for instance. I love the designs, though. The design looked really, really good. Overall, I'd say it's better than mediocre. I'd give it maybe like, I don't know, 6, 7 out of 10. Maybe 6.5 would probably be better. There you have it. We just watched some more anime. Please stick around because we're going to do another one of these where I'm going to look at some more old school anime. So if you like this video, please smash the like button and let me know down in the comments, is there an anime that you want me to watch? Because believe it or not, I do read the comments, and if there's an anime or a show or a movie that you want me to check out and give my thoughts, I will check it out, just like I did in this video up in the cards and the description down below, where I had you guys recommend shows that I should watch. And I did exactly that. Let me know which stuff you want me to check out and review and give my honest opinions. Make sure you subscribe because I got weekly content coming out. I don't want you to miss anything. My goal is that by the end of this year, we hit 1,000 subs. We're getting so close. We're already past the halfway mark, so I'm super excited. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and I will see you next time.